Thanks for your support as a channel member, Richard Blythe. Hello folks and welcome back to another Football Manager 20 video here on the channel. Disclaimer up front as ever, this was all captured down at the FM20 capture event down at Sports Interactive head office last weekend. It's all on an early access alpha build, pre-release stuff. It's all subject to change before the full game comes out, but yeah. Lots of Football Manager stuff coming up, and if that excites you, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. It really does help the channel out. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on for daily FM20 content the very moment the beta appears. Literally, I'm going to go live the moment the beta is out, and there's going to be daily content from that point onwards. If you haven't yet pre-ordered the game, link to do that, cheaper than Steam, is down in the description below. And I'm now going to hand over to past Kev, who's going to, I think he's got football matches to play. Bless his cotton socks. So I'm playing around with the tactics, trying to come up with something to help us in this next match. And this is a cool little feature with the suggested squad team selection advice thing. If you hit the tactics button rather than just going use selected squad or suggested squad, and then if you change the tactic on here and go back, it adjusts the recommended squad that would then suit that tactic. So really quickly at a glance, even without having to fiddle around with players yourself, and you can just go, right, if I switch to that tactic, what's my best team? Don't really want a team that's got Reece Bennett in it. Right, try something else. Let's try a 4-4-2. What would our best team be here? Right, that looks a little bit more like it, because then we're getting our wingers into important positions. We need to keep the front two where they are. I do want to just tweak that though, because I don't want him to be playing as a deep lying forward. So if I make him a poacher alongside an advanced forward, is he still the best man to play there? Excellent, he is. Baluta not really suits that. Can we change that from there? I don't know what happens when I select it like that, but I think that's quite cool. We're going to go with that. So that is now the team that is sat up on our tag. In fact, it's not. That's weird. Perhaps it would adjust as we get closer to the match. But that wasn't the team I selected, so I don't know why it's showing that differently. Let's get forward to match day. So, player development advice. I'm just going to check the development centre just to see if there's any sign of Harrison Burrows. You can see the graphs are starting to develop on here. So, Will Blackmore has got quite a steep line on his graph at the moment. Maybe Burrows doesn't show on it because we've moved him into that first team squad. So, if we have a look at him, is there under his development tab? Can we see that graph anywhere else? There it is, a big version of the graph. Love a graph. Excellent stuff. Right, so we're back into the match preview. So weirdly, it hasn't used the tactic that I asked it to. Selection advice, use suggested squad. That's still changing it around. That is not the team that I was looking at before. I don't know why. I mean, that does look more sensible, because having Boyd out on the wing makes a lot more sense than having Dembele in the team doing it. I'm going to make him an inverted winger, try again with quick pick, try again with selection advice, just to see. That's interesting. Baluta, only less than half a circle of position familiarity, but Gavin Strachan's saying, Kev, don't worry about it, he's comfortable playing in that position. If I maybe pick Matthew Everington and get his view, right, he's saying, actually, you know what, I would play Dembele ahead of Maddison. That is a big shout, Matthew Everington. But then, if anybody in our staff understands being a winger, it's probably Etherington. Simon Davis, he says Maddison. Mark Tyler, Maddison. We can kind of do a vote. McLean says Maddison. Scarf says Maddison. Craig Smith says Maddison. Matty Etherington's out there on his own saying, Kev, you've got to be playing Dembele. Let's have a look at his. If we go to the staff and just have a little nose at what his. God, there is so many staff at this. That's staff search, that's why. I've made that mistake a couple of times now. Right, Etherington, where is he? Is he a member of staff for our youths? Why can't I find him? All staff. Etherington. He has judging player ability of 11, whereas Gavin Strachan. So Etherington actually does. He knows his onions. So I'm not going with him. I can't drop Marcus Maddison. That seems like insanity. I also think it might be breaking the idea of this system a little bit, to be playing an inverted winger on a wing play system, because we're supposed to be playing out into those channels, getting crosses over to our very effective strikers, but we've told one of the wingers to cut in and come inside of that. But to be fair, it's exactly how he plays that role in real life. If he plays on the right hand side of the midfield, he is forever cutting inside because he's very left footed. Boyd playing it into Tony, who shoots just wide. Tony and Isa are getting chances, and to be fair to them, I guess they are scoring goals, certainly if you include the Carabao Cup game in goal tallies, which I guess we have to. They're just, I think my issue is they're not scoring as many goals as they do in real life, and it upsets me. Maddison running down the right hand side, plays it into Isa. It's a lovely little pass. We've got a potential overlap on the right hand side, but it ends up out with George Boyd, who tries to cross and it just sort of pinballs around a little bit, ends up back with Maddison on that right hand side again, but cutting nice and narrow to allow for that right back overlap on that side, and Thompson was there to overlap, and he's pushing on for that overlap again, and here he is in a crossing position, comes into Isa, who I thought he'd scored there. I was convinced he'd scored at the second time of asking, but apparently not, and we have a corner, and it's a corner that's taken by an actual wizard, because he just appeared out of nowhere to take that corner. That was magical. Right, it's 14 minutes in. All the other YouTube people are leaving the room. We're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere, apparently. They're all leaving the room. Oh, a little bit of peace and quiet. I do apologise if there was any noise in the background before. They're a bunch of loud hooligans. But we are now coming down the right-hand side again. In fact, Maddison is drifting very, very far back. Our right back has just gone on a little adventure all by himself up on the right-hand side of that pitch. No cover at all behind him, and wow, that was nearly a truly spectacular own goal, but their keeper did just about recover from it, and Tony is charging through again, can't quite get hold of the ball, and it's still 0-0. I guess it just does feel like we're creating more than we were in those last couple of matches, but we're still not finishing clinically. I wonder if it's maybe the instructions I've got my attacking players playing with that aren't working. Everyone dig in this second half, maybe, and it's a concern I had going into FM19. Maybe the combination of Potter and advanced forward doesn't work together in FM20, because traditionally it never really did, but in FM19 you could get away with it and it would work fine, and we did it sometimes. We had an advanced forward alongside a Potter, but maybe we've gone back to a world where you need one attacking striker and one support striker again, which probably is a little bit more true to how things are in real life. You can't necessarily play with two proper out-and-out strikers, but these two kind of are. We, partial the exception, we kind of do. We've gone 1-0 down here against Southend, and I mean it's a good effort from the edge of the area. I'm going to get myself fired. I can't get sacked. I can't get sacked in one day. I'm only down here recording for one day. Imagine if I managed to get myself sacked. Tony is in behind here and should have scored. It's a lovely save from the Southend keeper, but really we should have been able to expect a little bit more from Ivan Toney there. Maddison now with the corner, and once again it's a poor corner. Boyd with the shot from the edge of the area. I love the way the little tunnel area behind the goal is really deteriorated and battered there. It looks like a real football ground that's just suffering from a little bit of wear and tear. That was awesome. I've never noticed anything like that before, and I keep going back to the increases in detail for the stadiums themselves is awesome. I really love it. Right, we're going to try and implement a support striker with a more attacking striker, see if that makes a difference, and we are going to now go with Matty Everington's suggestion of Dembele on that right hand side playing as the inverted winger. So now we've got the winger that the winger recommended and a proper target man playing alongside. I mean, Ivan Toney's a big lad himself as well, so we've got two big targets for crosses to come in. We just need to find a way to get the crosses. Tony's had a terrible game. Should we bring Tazdemir on? A very different type of striker again. We can play him as a pressing forward alongside a target man. Is that something that you do? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But we are we're going to lose. To be fair, it's our first defeat. I don't think I am in danger of getting sacked right now. I'm just frustrated that we're not scoring as frequently as I would like. And 5 games into the season, one of which is in the cup, I have to say it does feel like there might be a little bit more thought and a little bit more challenge involved in FM20 compared to what we've maybe become used to in FM19. That I feel like in FM19, if you manage to stumble across a good tactic, you could have a lot of success for a long time, and it got quite easy at times. I know I made it look difficult, but this actually feels difficult. Now we've got a big game coming up against MK Dons. Kev returns to Milton Keynes. Right, I'm going back to the Diamond for my big return to Milton Keynes, and this is the team that we're going with. I have tweaked it ever so slightly. The one tweak I've made is I've made Christy Pym in goal. I've made him a defensive goalkeeper rather than attacking sweeper keeper. It's a change I often made on FM19 because I never got attacking sweeper keepers to work properly. I'm also toying with the idea of making one of these defenders a covering defender. I'm just going to have a look to see which one of them is quickest. And just get him in there covering for the other, and also for the fullbacks who are pushing on. And it might be that I end up tweaking the fullbacks and make them slightly less attacking, but we will see. But that's what we're going to go with. So Pym in goal, back four of Butler, Knight, Kent. Siri is really interested. Siri apparently heard one of those words as a very rude word, and it just came up on my screen. That's thrown me. So Pym in goal, Butler, Knight, Kent and Thompson as our back four. Baluta at the base of the midfield, Boyd and Reed in central midfield, Maddison behind Tony and Isa, who I still haven't got working together yet, but hopefully today is the day. The big game away at MK Dons, back at Stadium MK, home of all of my glorious moments from FM19. I am expecting a win today because I always expect to win at Stadium MK. Let's have a look at the old place, see how it's scrubbed up in FM20. I'm very excited. I don't see any home scarves knocking around the place, which troubles me a little bit. But there is Tony winning the ball back, playing as a proper pressing forward, but he immediately lost the ball again, which wasn't necessarily part of the script. And now McDonald's have the opportunity to counter-attack our counter-attack, but they lose the ball, but then win it back again. What is this? It's almost as if it's a big rivals match and we're both going for it and trying to attack each other. And it is Milton Keynes attacking us, and they've got a lot of space out in wide areas. As you'd expect, I guess. We're playing a really narrow system, but we've got another little counter-attacking break going on here. There is Ivan Toney, beats the keeper. That is a lovely piece of control from Toney. I am desperate to see this from the reverse angle, because this was a lovely piece of control, I think, on the chest. Let's have a look at it from this side, and it is Isa picks the ball up fairly deep in their half, and look at this hit. That's a thing of beauty, and it is 1-0 to Posh. I don't know that I've seen that goal in Football Manager before. One quick battery change on the camera later if I'd suddenly changed angle or changed shape or size of my beautiful face, that's why. But we're still 1-0 up. That's the important thing. The camera didn't die before the goal, I don't think. And MK Dons have a corner, and it's Isa trying to break. This is the weirdest camera angle I've ever seen a football match displayed from, and I don't understand how Ivan Toney's not offside there, but he beats his man and forces the save out of the Milton Keynes goalkeeper. I'm still not happy with this director camera angle. It can't be the one I've been using unless they've changed it massively, and it confuses me a little bit when I'm around at weird angles that I don't want to be at. So I need to figure out what camera angle I use on FM19. I'm thinking it's probably TV. Maddison looking for the cross and forces the corner. And I mean, Stadium MK, looking how I remember it, almost no fans in here. I remember it that way from both home matches and from real life. And we've got the corner there, and it kind of just flew across goal with nobody really looking to attack it in either direction. So it goes out for a throw in on the other side, but we now have a corner from the opposite side. Isa's there and really should have scored. That's I mean, he could have if he'd have aimed that anywhere else in the universe, it would have ended up in the back of that net. But 'twas not to be. Boyd from range and forces a save out of their keeper again. We're playing much better today. Only 27 minutes into the game, we've had 62% of the possession, 8 shots, 5 of them on target. Nothing from Milton Keynes so far. Where are they in the league? They're directly below us in the league, so it's a rivals match against a team who've had a very similar start to the season as we've had, and they're just not playing very well at all. I don't know if that's because of the magic of Football Manager, where sometimes, okay, he's seen a tactic's not working, he's tried something else, and then you go back to the original tactic and it feels, it acts as if it's a new one. I don't know if I just imagine that that's happening, but certainly this system that wasn't really working before does seem to be working a little bit better now, he says, as Milton Keynes pick up an equaliser. And this is a familiar scoreline. 1-1 is the story of our season so far, and that is the score as we hit half-time. Milton Keynes down 1, Posh 1. Team talk at half-time. I think I'm going to get aggressive. I haven't got aggressive with them yet. I've not shown them my my Hulk side. They're going to get it now. I'm going to aggressively tell them I'm not happy. That will upset them. They're all fired up though, which is awesome. I do like a fired up footballer, and hopefully we'll do something with that. I mean, looking at the stats, we've absolutely dominated this match, and it's baffling to me that with the quality of striker that we've got in the team, it's literally finishing where we're struggling. We're creating the chances, we're just not finishing them. Tony out to Thompson, who's got the overlap on this right hand side, but the cross is utterly terrible. Kent now picks the ball up from the clearance, playing it through the middle. It's George Boyd with a little bit of space, finds Tony, who plays it out beautifully to Thompson. Again, getting a lot of space down this right hand side, and Tony, is he fouled? He is fouled. We've won a penalty. Excellent stuff. Tony steps up to take said penalty. He's having a good long look at it, and look at the shadows of the players on the pitch. I didn't even notice we missed the penalty because I'm so happy with the shadows. But they've now gone again, and we are still in a world where it's 1-1. Perhaps I should focus more on the football rather than the lighting effects. The day that happens will be a sad day for all of us. But you can almost see, ignore me if you don't care about this stuff, but you can tell this is happening at about 4 o'clock because of the way the shadows are. They're low in the sky. It's awesome. Right, let's make some substitutions. We're bringing Biamu on again, who, I mean, he's scoring at roughly the rate you'd expect him to be scoring. We're going to swap those two round. Confirm changes. I've just noticed, because I hit quick pick, Reed has been in the team since the start, not Woodyard. The game might have changed, but some things never will. Right, Madison's won the ball back beautifully in midfield. It's Isa, back to Madison again. Oh my word, Bianu nearly scoring the, that would be the goal to celebrate his 26th birthday. And then he'd nearly be caught up with his real age with goals at that point, which would be lovely stuff. Butler isn't having the best of games, but we've got no left back on the bench. I'm thinking we probably need to get young Harrison Burrows on again, focusing on youth development, and let's have 10 minutes of passion to finish things off as well. Well, 4 minutes of passion by the time we actually get the opportunity to get passionate. But it looks like we are heading for yet another draw. And look at the state of those match stats. 1-1 is the scoreline at the end of the game, but we had 59% possession, 21 shots to their 4, 8 on target to their 2. We had the one clear-cut chance of the game, and I think it was the ISO one that we actually missed. At some point, these attackers will click, and we're going to beat somebody 6-0, and we're going to be rolling from then. And I do wonder how much of an impact team cohesion is having on that, because we started off, if we go to the Dynamics page and have another look, we started off the season with abysmal team cohesion. We're still only on average team cohesion, and I do feel a little bit like once that ticks up to this kind of area, the way we're playing, that's going to be the difference between scoring some of these open goals and converting some of these chances. That's my guess at the moment.
And you can find out how accurate my guess was in tomorrow's episode. Maybe. I don't actually remember when we find out the answer to that guess. It's soon though, I promise. If you have enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more daily Football Manager 20 content. and thank you very much for watching.